Yeah, so it's been good. We have a patch coming up next week. Zach can maybe share a little more details there, but there's a lot of ongoing stuff that's just around core improvements to the game, including a really cool update to quests that is coming very soon. So there's a bunch of kind of like more incremental stuff, and then most of the team is working on the kind of like big Nifty 2.0 kind of like next major update to the game. So that's kind of where we're at. We have the big secret Nifty 2.0 that's coming,
Oh, damn.
and we're working hard on that. I'm not going to give away too much. What I will say just a little bit is like, and I kind of mentioned it in Palm Chat today too. We're very critically looking at basically, continuing to look at crypto gaming from first principles as we always have, and we're really looking at like what features will be like the most high impact for a Nifty 2.0 that really makes Nifty something special, where you can have forms of gameplay you can't get anywhere else. And there's a lot in flight there, so we're kind of all hands on a sort of kind of for us like a Manhattan project, get Nifty 2.0 out there. We aren't going to spoil too much about what we have cooking there, but the team's kind of completely all hands deck trying to get that kind of major expansion to Nifty together. And there's a bunch of incremental stuff coming too. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on with us.
That's
I'm
good.
also if my internet's bad at any point, I'm in kind of a little cabin for a
Oh
week
my
or
God, you're
two. So I'm working
traveling?
from here. So yeah, a little bit. Just yeah, with family, seeing yeah, in Colorado. So the internet's not amazing. So just let me know if you can't hear me.
Love it. It's fine. It's fine. The work-life balance. How it goes. But yeah, Zank, I'm gonna pass the mic now to you. I want to hear what are you guys cooking in the dev side these past few weeks.
Sure. Did you just say work-life balance? That's an
Right, you don't
interesting
have
term.
that.
We're in Web3, man.
That's the best thing I have in
Did you just
Web3.
coin that? You just made that up. That's pretty cool. I like the idea. Yeah. So yeah, like Charles said, I mean, right? We have the big kind of secret thing we're working on. It's there'll be some details about that before it goes live, of course, um, but there's plenty to share that's coming a little bit sooner. So yeah, like Charles mentioned, there's a patch next week. There's some good, like I'd say, like medium-sized stuff in this patch, and there's like a whole bunch of those types of things. So I can just kind of rattle off what's going to be in there, get everyone a little prepared for it. So one kind of nice thing is all the Quest UI is coming into the game. So I know that's been a long-awaited improvement. So everything you can do on the website with quests besides creating them, you can do in game. So you can go see, you can like access the quest explorer on the map. You'll be able to see like which quests are active on islands, and you can click into them, see, you can bring up the same like quest page that's on the website. And so yeah, basically you can figure out what's going on, but it's just better information about events and stuff like that in the game. Also, when you're on the island with a quest, obviously this has been missing, like you can just see all the information about the quest while you're there. So that's a lot. And then, well, I kind of wanted to be a little bit of surprise, but the dashboard when you load into the game, we have the dashboard, right? And there's a lot of information on that dashboard, but it's like kind of ugly, and we've wanted to fix it for a long time. So we're kind of moving away from the dashboard to more of a traditional game like landing page. And that's going to be rolling out in this next patch. It's pretty nice looking. You can't get all the same information, but I think some of it wasn't really necessary. And there's more information there, like you can access the Quest Explorer through that too. You can still get to the map. I think the stuff that you'd really just want to do. And it's quick load, and you just like just a good launch point. It's kind of pretty. We have premium games coming out. This is and we're kind of rolling this out in like a dry run state. So what this looks like is palm holders, and depending on your palm too, you get more votes. But palm holders get votes to vote on games, and if you vote on if a game gets enough votes, it gets promoted to premium status. We kind of are the dry run part of that is the premium status doesn't really do anything except cosmetically right now. So if your game reaches premium status, that game in the games menu gets a little like bloom star next to it, and on the map you will also see that star to see that a game on that island has premium status. We're gonna keep an eye on like people brigading stuff. I think most people who are playing the game nowadays are good intentions, so it's really like, you know, if like farmers or like bots, people try to like exploit stuff, we want to make sure that there's like a quality bar. We also have a system baked into the premium game system to like almost like a social credit score, but really just like a good intention score. Like, does this person give good feedback about games? Are they like upvoting things that shouldn't be upvoted? Or are they upvoting things that are like actually good content? We track that, and we basically weight your votes based on like how you've voted on stuff in the past. So it's basically a system to start curating stuff based on player votes and ensure like quality around voting. So I think that's, you know, something that's just super important to having this UGC world. We can't have moderators everywhere all the time. So, yeah, you know, so yeah, so that's rolling out. Basically, the idea is like we want to increase the quality bar in games. We want to like push people to playing games that are better and just improve the experience for everyone. So that's kind of a first big step in that direction.
Right.
Another thing that's coming out, feel free to interject, or anyone can interject if you have questions about these things. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep rattling through the list.
Just drop us all down, Sazang. All you can do.
Yeah, there's a lot coming out in this, and
Wait.
there's more that's like under the hood. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm curious though, like, is this the main feature that we're dropping, or is there still something in the background that you all are working at?
None of this is the big secret Manhattan project Charlie's
Oh my
referring to. So yeah, there's a lot in progress right now, and a lot of this stuff that you're seeing is stuff that we, you know, kind of finished working on a while ago and have been QAing and just like waiting to like batch into this patch because there's a lot in flux. So yeah, another thing that's coming out is Pearl Gotcha. So we
Real
did
quick,
a bit of go ahead.
Zunk, I got a quick question. How are the games? Oh, it's Happy Mike, by the way. Thanks for having me up, you guys. Stoked to be
Of
here.
course.
Yes, sir.
It's the last one.
Good to see you.
Thank
Good to
you,
see
God. So how are these games going to get ranked? Is there going to be some kind of ranking system? Like, how is that going to happen for the?
Yeah. So basically, it's less ranking and more of like a status that they can achieve if they get enough votes. So people will be able to, like in the game menu or like after the game is played in the results menu, you're going to be prompted with an option to give stars to something, and you're going to get stars on a recurring basis if you hold a palm. And once something receives a certain threshold of stars, it becomes a premium game, we call it. And like I said, it's the premium game doesn't do anything right now. It will in the future. The plan is to have it affect blooms, but we're kind of like testing the system out right now. So all it does right now is it does a little bit by like cosmetically on the map showing like this island has at least one premium game, and the game itself will have that marker. So if people like your game, it gets denoted as like, hey, this is a good game right now. People, and then on the map, like, hey, this is a good island, or this island has good games, and people might visit more because of that. But more is coming to make that more enticing, basically.
Wait, is this gonna be tied to wagering, Zunk?
What's wagering?
Are we gonna have wagering, like PvP wagering soon? Is that a feature that we're trying to do?
Not in that patch. It's not related to that. It's not related to the patch.
Okay.
It's not related to the patch.
Oh wait, I have a question because
This guy's asking too many questions.
wait,
You're gonna take him
I
out.
have a very important one because I feel like the current meta right now in the space is like doing casinos and all that predictions market, and I want to ask Charles, like, is while we're cooking with the next big thing, somehow related to the current meta, or is it like a new feature?
So I'd say we're not just one-to-one doing what the current thing is
Mhm.
in any way. So we're not just like about to launch a prediction market. But I think I think it's like look I think it's like maybe rhymes in some ways. There's some overlap, but I'm not gonna. It's not like a one-to-one
Yep.
thing, and I think what we're working on like hasn't been attempted before, and will feel very novel. Does it speak to some of that a little bit, like maybe in some ways, but yeah, we're not just one-to-one doing like, hey, oh, prediction markets seem good, let's do a prediction market. We're not
Yeah.
it's not as reactive as that. These are ideas we've had for a long time, and
Yeah. But
yeah,
to answer your
it's
question
not we're
too,
not just one-to-one doing that.
yeah. But to answer your question, also, it is very much a new thing, and so it's not necessarily expanding on the current meta. It is.
Yep.
I would say it's a new meta. Is that fair to say, Charles?
That is fair. Yep, that's fair to say. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
really
so-
like again like I just think we've always been at our best when we've like really sat down and tried to think like, okay, how should this work? Like tune out Twitter for a while because it's really there's not a lot of alpha on there, and think of something really new, something really different that we think will work. And so that's like very much where our head's been at. So I think it will be something that you haven't seen before. Maybe rhymes with some other things, has some similarities with some other things, but it's pretty. Yeah, we're working on something new,
Sorry, call y'all. They got your alpha.
and it is. And just for those who just want to in the most simple language know that we're cooking. This will be our biggest release since the open beta release for sure. So that is how we're thinking about it. It's like a major expansion and iteration on like the core platform. And so a lot of like the stuff you see in the patches is like us kind of tuning up the core loop and system of UGC islands that today. Like that is and then what's coming is something different that doesn't like really fit neatly into like Nifty Island as you know it. It will be deeply integrated into it, but it's just a new thing that you haven't seen.
Okay, with that being said, though, Charles, like, okay, we're pushing out this big feature, but we're not gonna get the noise just by that. Are we gonna do like a large marketing push campaign again with that feature release?
Yep, we are. Yes. Yep. We've very intentionally not been just like burning resources in a way that's never going to work. So like basically, if you just look at Web3 gaming broadly, a bunch of people have done a bunch of different things. Some people have paid KOLs huge amounts of money.
Mhm.
Some people have paid them less. Some people have done other things. The trajectory for all of these games has been very similar because everyone's kind of doing something that's like somewhat similar, right? I'd say we're a bit different, and as a result, have kind of a core community that's like more authentic, kind of stuck around more than some of these other games. But basically, everybody's kind of running a playbook that's kind of similar. It's yielding the same results. Like if you look at any gaming token, like it's all the same. It's not. There's literally no outlier. Maybe you could say, guns or like, has gone a little bit different, right? But it's not even really. It's basically the same. So, where was I going with this? So yeah, the goal is to really use marketing firepower when we have a new version of the product, like a new release that we want to get out to a lot of people. That's what we're working on now. It's really a waste to just be like, oh, can we get like X influencer to do like a fleeting tweet that's obviously paid for? It just doesn't do it. It has to be authentic. It has to come with like a real new product that's going to make people say, okay, I'm going to take a second look at this. This is something I haven't seen before. That's what we're working on, and we will be doing a concerted marketing push around it. Yes.
That's cool. Love to hear it.
I have another
Can I
question for
ask
Zung,
how many?
real quick, about the stars. Is there going to be other utility around the stars, or is it just going to be like, will we be able to reward people for the games, but what about rewarding people as players for islands? Is there going to be any kind of system like that also implemented?
That's a great question. This first rollout, it's going to be specifically for games. it could be that we want to allow people to vote on islands as well, or kind of like, what aspect of this island do you want to give a star to, right? Star's kind of like just saying, hey, this thing is good. It could be the aesthetics of an island. It's a nice looking island, or this is like obviously like a good game. Yeah, I think we could in the future. For this initial rollout, we won't.
Well, and then could that be like somehow converted into island or pearls? Like, so everybody's right here at Lovely's Island right now, and people are like, "Oh yeah, I love this." Can I use stars to just be like, here, put it in her tip jar, and then she could take all those stars and go to the marketplace and convert them possibly to island or pearls, maybe.
That's a cool idea. I mean, we might, it might just be pearls that we do that with. I don't know if we're talking about this quest update, Charles, but there will be.
It's okay to talk about that a bit.
Okay, yeah. So
I mean, I don't think like. Well, we're starving them for the big stuff. I'm okay to. We can share a little.
yeah.
We can share a little.
Yeah. So yeah, so not exactly along the lines of what you said, but which I still do like. And first of all, like, we can allow people to do that with blooms, at least in the current state, because there's no like fee on blooms basically, and they're not paid for, so people can kind of use that to exploit. You can't give blooms from one player to another player. We could let you do that with pearls just in general, and maybe it's not stars, but if you want to give someone pearls because you, as a tip, I think that's probably fun. I discussed it with Max, but it's an interesting idea. Stars would probably be less of a tip and more of a vote. That's how we would run those through the voting system. You have some sort of credit that determines like how much we think your votes matter. Based on like if you're voting well, and then as for this other pearl related thing, so for quests, we're opening up a new option to do pearl gated quests. So what that means is, like, as a quest creator, you can charge an entry fee for the quest, and it could be a small entry fee, but basically it's a way to say like to like get paid for hosting an event directly, besides like foot traffic rewards. So you might have prizes up that are worth a good amount, or they're like just desirable prizes, and people might be willing to put down a little bit of money for it, for an attempt at it. And then as the quest creator, you just get to keep the pearls that you earned as an entry fee. So that's rolling out pretty soon.
And then will that option to have pearls converted to island be available to those quest builders that do that?
Yes, those would be pearls that go right into your pearl rewards, and then you could do the same thing you can do with those. You can claim and redeem them for pearls, or you can sell them for islands. So this is, it's part of the effort to like move away from the current P2E system and give people a way to earn that just makes more sense, first of all, and then is like more sustainable.
Now, is this also a way that Web 2 players, Epic and Steam, are going to be able to earn as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
If they're making quests, then they can just go sell their pearls, and it's a little bit like the earning is still through crypto, so like how there might still be some friction there as you're selling it for Island Token, but as we delve more into those audiences, we can figure out a way to.
I like where we're heading to.
Make that.
I like it, like this paid upcoming quest. I feel like it's going to be a game changer with projects. Like it can actually be a use case for these projects where they can earn their own money too.
Right.
How are they going to count out their pearls though? If they're going to be paid by pearls.
So they get paid with those like pearl rewards, the ones that you can redeem on your rewards page.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So yeah. I mean, it's always the idea is to like pay out people who are like making events and like making good content in the game, stuff like that. feel free to interject with more questions here. Otherwise, I have more stuff on this patch list I can keep rattling on about.
Keep going. Wait, I heard Big Gun talk earlier. Yo, Big Gun, you got something to say?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was
go
just
for it.
curious as to how many more patches do you think we'd be going through before we hit that major update?
Charles, is there anything we can say about the timeline on that update? I mean, we have a we know internally,
given we're literally having meetings where it's swinging by like a matter of weeks. Let's not, just because it's like it is moving a little. So I'll say this: we're working as fast as we can. I don't want to just. I want to give a date when I feel like it's like authoritative, so you can actually be like take it seriously when you hear it. So I can't say right now, but
Okay.
we've been from our past stuff, like we've been really hammering to try and get something out like in Q4. That's like that's the past thing we've said, and we're basically hammering to get this out as soon as possible.
I mean, I think it's safe to say
that's the best I can give.
We're not talking about like a year. Just to be, I think that's safe to say.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah, absolutely not. No, it's like yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah. But there is some big stuff coming out that's just irrelevant to that, basically. Well, I shouldn't say irrelevant, but stands alone well without that. And I mean, the big one is scripting. I'll get to that in a sec. And that's going to be out probably sooner than people expect. But I'll keep going through this list. Again, feel free to interject. It's not impolite to interrupt me because I gave you permission. So
Wait, I have a question about island things, Zunk.
What the hell? That's really rude.
All right. So once we stop this P2E thing, all right? Once we stop P2E, are we gonna have more island things, more use case for island and all that?
Yeah.
Yes. There's some pretty considerable big ones that are being worked into the larger project that we mentioned. So there's that, and then there's some other things that are going to be more incremental that you'll see beforehand that drive that kind of continue to tune up the kind of Pearl economy, such that we think spend will be higher. Pearls are in more parts of the app, and so there's going to be some big changes to that, and new things that Island Token will do with that big update. And then in the near term, there's improvements to the Pearl economy that we're doing, tying the Pearls to new systems. You'll see some of that as soon as next week.
Got it.
I think this large update, without saying too much about it, like it's going to interact with Island in a big way. I think that's all I'll say about it.
When gotcha refill. Yo, JB.
I was actually going to ask about that. I just thought Jay mentioned that. You mentioned something about a Pearl gotcha. So I wanted to know about that and know if the free spins we have will work towards that also.
Well, so the Pearl gotcha. So we've actually restructured the gotcha a bit under the hood a little while ago so that we can have multiple pools. So you can go up to the gotcha and like choose which pool you want to spin for, and the pools can have different rewards and they can have different currencies that you input into them. There's a lot we can do with this in the future too, but the one that we're rolling out with first is this Pearl gotcha, where you actually put pearls into the gotcha to spin it. So you can't use your blooms for that, or your and the rewards are going to be much bigger and like more interesting. There's a lot of other stuff we can do, like gated gotcha. We're talked about having we have like a progression and leveling system in the works. We might gate it by level. We might gate it, we could gate it by like some NFT holdings. There's a lot of stuff we could do. And then there's like, one day you can have like your own custom gotcha on your island if you wanted to, and you can fill it with stuff. You could charge pearls for it. That's one of those efforts, right? Like where you can earn by like setting up content and offering up prizes like the quest system.
If it's token gated, it's pretty much like you can kind of make it. It is kind of like that for your island, or That's pretty
Yeah.
cool if you can token gate it. That's amazing.
Yeah, and we talked about doing like kind of promotional ones, like say we are working with a partner like Sappy Seals or something, and we want to do some temporary promotional gotcha. We can do something like that, and just gate it to holders or not. Yeah, so there's a bunch of cool stuff we can do with it, but we're rolling out with this Pearls one for now. Let's see. Oh, this is kind of a small update, but we're moving the system menu. We're just updating the like tab menu, so that's where your inventory is going to go, and the inventory's been moved out of the like character selection screen. I think it just didn't make sense there, so it's just kind of annoying because it swings the camera around when you want to just like do something in your inventory. So that's moving into tab. Your mobility abilities are still going to be there. Your toggle view is going to be there. We're moving the whatever. There's just some UI stuff that's moving around. It makes sense. I'm not going to linger on that. Combat settings. Okay. Oh, one kind of small one, but highly requested feature is you'll be able to set a soundtrack for Playground games. Finally,
Yo,
so
that's fire.
yeah, I know people wanted that. I know I've wanted that. So if you're sick of the beautiful music that plays during Playground games, yeah, you can set your own. It'll be fun because I think it's kind of funny, like when you're like just chilling on an island and there's like hard rap playing or something like that. But I think that would fit really well with like a Playground game. It'd be pretty hype. So that's coming. Okay, and now kind of the big stuff, but it's rolling out invisibly at first. So in this next patch next week, scripting under the hood is going to be in production. And we're not going to market that at all right now. And we're using this as kind of like a alpha test, and we're going to let in a few users. If you do want to be involved in scripting, feel free to reach out to me directly. And we are going to cap the number of users. So we're going to probably cap it by people who we think are also like have some dev experience, just because the visual scripting system is a little bit in depth, and we're also working to make it a little bit easier, but it's starting out in this kind of like intermediate advanced mode state. So that's rolling out, and we're going to start getting some early feedback on it. We've gotten some feedback from playtesters on QA. We've had, I think Blair Bear was here a second ago. Yeah, Blair Bear has been giving us a lot of feedback, and that's been great. So thank you, Blair Bear. We have been iterating based on that feedback a lot, and we have, there's like we're cleaning it up for release here, but there's basically this is going to roll out in a state where it's like mostly working. Games might break sometimes. That's why we're not opening it up to everybody. And there's like a bunch of nodes. You can make a whole bunch of like different games with it. But there's a bunch of like desirable features, and we can just add nodes based on things that people request. So yeah, I mean, you can obviously make like a death match. You can make kind of wonky games with like fun rules. We've opened up stuff like setting the costume. Like if you want to make your player a lamp, like you do in Prop Hunt, setting people's ammo, anything logically that we do in our games, is opened up or can be opened up to players to make their own custom games. You can make hide and seek really well right now. Like I know people kind of like spoofed that a little bit to get something janky working. You can make like a legitimate hide and seek game now. Really, I'm less imaginative than you guys are on this stuff. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what some people start doing. But yeah, so that's just rolling out in an alpha state, and we're not going to market it at all. We're not even going to mention it in the patch notes, so you guys are getting a little bit of alpha here. That's going to be probably, I don't know if we'll do like heavy marketing on that. Not as heavy as like the marketing we're going to do on our big secret project here, but we'll have a bigger, like more flashy announcement once we're ready to move that into like a beta state. But it's very much alpha right now. But it is functional, and you can do really cool stuff with it. I mentioned before one of our devs made like a simple MOBA with it. There's and it was a fully functioning MOBA, and there's like still stuff to be desired to make it like more expected and like user friendly and that kind of stuff. But just to give you an idea of the stuff you can do with it, like you set up like a bunch of towers you have to destroy. You set up shops that you can, spend your gold you get from killing other players and like destroying towers to get upgrades and make yourself stronger. So that's the kind of stuff that like you can do with the system right now. And we're working on it to make it a lot more flexible.
So, speaking of these updates, though, like how are our existing holders, asset holders, farm holders, pistol holders, are going to benefit from all these new features or updates? Or are we cooking like new stuff for these holders as well?
Yeah. So I would say, I mean, there's like a few ways that they hook in. Like, obviously, there's like the voting is palm holder related. We kind of see like palm holders as players that are like kind of at the highest tier of like personal investment into the project, not necessarily not like speaking financial investment, but like personal investment. These other ones, I mean, like the gotcha ties into pearls. That's not the crypto holdings. I think the big thing there is going to be this this large initiative that we're working on. That, I mean, you'll hear more about it soon, and that's going to have a big tie into Island. I'd say none of the ones that are. Oh, okay. So we do have something. I mean, kind of cool for. Well, it's basically just showing off inventory in general. But people are always like, my pistols. Like I have these pistols, and I want people to see them. One thing we're working on. It's not going on in the next patch, but this like flare system we call it. That's basically like in-game cosmetics, and part of that is like when you get a kill, like it's going to show you like the person's weapon. We also want to like kind of just feature your stuff you have equipped more, like at game end, so people are forced to look at your inventory, because that's what makes having an inventory fun, is if people look at it. I mean, that's one of the things. Yeah, so those are the tie-ins for this right now.
I was gonna ask, what would be cool sometimes is that when you get like shot, it's for there to be like a low replay, like maybe like an optional replay.
Oh shit!
To see how they got you.
That's a big ask, actually.
Okay.
What we will do is show you like so there's going to be a kill banner, and it shows you who killed you and what weapon they used to kill you, which nice. Basically already shows you. But and then so they can swag on you a little bit with their kill banner and make you feel.
What about what about more leaderboards, say for fishing, and then breaking it down as like who's got the biggest dark aspect, like blah 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 blah.
The biggest,
kind of like how it is on the quests already, but more of a general type of leaderboard type of thing for
I think we
fishing
are
right
doing
now?
a fishing leaderboard. Max, do you have information on that?
Yep, it's coming soon. It'll do basically what you said.
There you go.
Soon TM.
Yeah. I mean, if there's other leaderboards you guys want, those are actually kind of good background work for us too. So,
what about like who you've shot? How many times you've been shot by somebody? Like, yo, Happy Mike, you've been shot by Zunk 20 times. Like, or like those kinds of stats. Is that possible? Because we've talked about it before.
Yeah, as it is.
Yo, we need assist. Yo, Jay, you're right.
Assist.
I'd be at the top of the charts with assists for sure.
I know assists, yeah.
And this is small, but is there any chance we can get the standings and time trials moved so the kill feed isn't overlaid by the standings in combat races? Is that been looked at?
Overlaid by the state. Oh, yeah, we can look at that.
And then maybe even get some kill feedback at the end of the races, like who had the most kills during the race or whatever.
Oh, sure.
Well, and
I'll have
then
to
you
think
go
about
and
that.
you elaborate that a little bit more, and like, would you be able to? Maybe you don't finish first in the race, but you get the most kills, and you get a different, better bloom payout, possibly too.
Yeah, that's interesting. I can't give an answer on that. I'm gonna have to think about it, just because the way the leaderboards work is specific to the game right now, and technically those are the same game, just one has combat enabled. So I will have to think about that.
Gotcha.
And see what's doable. But I agree with the sentiment for sure.
And then, is that something that one day we might just be able to script ourselves?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So that's, you can definitely do. And in fact, like, one thing scripting allows is like custom score definition, and then you can decide, like, if the score even shows up on the scoreboard, you can decide exactly how much it impacts. There's kind of like sub scores, right? Like you have, like, in deathmatch, say you have like a positive score of like kills and a negative score of deaths. If we want, say you want to subtract your deaths or subtract your suicides, is something that we do. So you can choose like what stuff shows up on the game results screen, and you can choose exactly how it sums or into the score. Basically, everything's weighted. So yeah.
Okay, so that kind of leads me to my next question. And then, how does the scripting games get integrated into quests? Will there be? How will that work? Will the games be worked the same, or will we be able to one day make certain quests for certain scripted games? You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's a good question. So, first of all, the games themselves are just games with custom logic. But so the way you select games for quests right now, you'll be able to do that in the same way. So it's just a game on your island. So if you wanted to make a custom game and have a quest to play that game, that's going to work out of the box. One thing that you've touched upon a little bit is more of like a custom quest solution with scripting, which is something that we've talked about, and I think it's actually like pretty low lift. And what that might look like is you make a new script of like a quest type, right? And when you make that script, we give you a few basic nodes, which are like, well, basically one, like some way to get quest points, something that gives you quest points. And then when you make a quest, you could make like a custom quest that hooks into a script. And then you can do whatever you want to give people quest points. You could have quest points on kills in a game. You could have quest points on like just interacting with something that's at the end of a puzzle, right? Solve my puzzle, and if you do, you're entered into a raffle. You could have a treasure hunt, like scan all these things, and you get a quest point for scanning each one. So that opens up a lot of really interesting stuff you can do with quests. A lot more interesting than the quests are right now, actually, just because they're so canned. So yeah, that's pretty exciting.
okay, cool. And then, what is your I don't know. How do you see the team engaging players on tutorials for scripting?
Yeah, actually, so since we're close to release, we're going to be making the tutorials basically in this next week. I'm happy to actually, I know the lead dev on scripting is also volunteered to lead I think he has. Well, I'm volunteering him now to do a seminar or one of our Learn from a Legends on that. So we can do that. There's going to be video tutorials for it, which should be like a pretty good entry point. I'm planning to do them myself, and they're just going to walk you through all parts of the system. It's going to be the suggested, like, you want to get started, what do? You could watch them to get an idea. You can follow along to make your first couple games or out of game scripts. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of documentation on this. It's going to be hopefully pretty good. Definitely our best yet.
What's your favorite in all of these? These are a lot of features in common.
My favorite feature?
Yeah, no. Like in these upcoming features, what's your most favorite one?
I mean, if scripting is included, then it's that one because first of all, it's been a long time coming, right? We've been waiting for scripting for a long time.
Yep.
And it's really the thing that opens up the game to be like infinitely interesting.
Oh wait, what's the reason update we upgraded charts? We tried out like 2 to 3 weeks ago, and want to hear like what's the progress on that.
Oh yeah, so we have data on that. Basically, we've been kind of just gearing up for this patch and getting scripting into a good state. The plan is once this patch goes out, we're gonna start hacking on some of those the lowest hanging fruit and that stuff. That's why we haven't had another play test since we haven't had a chance to address that stuff. But we have a lot of stuff we identified that's going to be able to like quickly boost those numbers up. So yeah,
I think it's really affected by like players want to see more players in game, not just this limited 20 players and stuff. I think that way we can actually grow, right?
Yeah, and I think the games with more players are more fun too.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Charles,
what about to an extent?
Oh, sorry,
go ahead, Mike.
Sorry, that's good. Okay, I was just going to say, is there any update on hunting, perhaps?
Oh, shit.
I haven't heard anything about hunting from anywhere, so...
Yeah. I would expect to not hear too much about that for a bit. We've kind of shuffled it back because we are... Basically, this larger effort has taken priority, and I think once it releases, that'll be pretty quickly justified as the right move. We still will be doing hunting is the plan, but the kind of game like larger game meta world features have taken a backseat to this. Some stuff that will still be coming is the progression system. So without hunting, we'll still have progression. Oh, one cool thing that's coming too on that vein, not in this next patch, but it's pretty much wrapped up and in QA now is Fishing V2, we call it. It's a very exciting name. But it's basically introduces some progression for fishing, different rods you can get with abilities, and new fish, and better inventory management. Rods will break now, and you craft them. The basic rod that you use now will be craftable for very cheap, or free. I forget where we landed on that much, but and the other rods you can buy. You have to unlock them basically, and there's going to be more interesting crafting stuff in the future. For now, you can. Yeah, there's some canned rods you can get. Yeah, so fishing's getting a facelift basically in the meantime.
All right. Now I have a really outside of the box type of question real quick.
Oh boy, I love those.
Okay, this one's I'm kind of what would
my beer?
What would have you guys thought about integrating somehow into other side? Is that something that Nifty Island not integrating community?
That's a whole different game.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, hey, I'm thinking outside the box. I'm asking, what's
we'll let Charles answer that. We'll let Charles answer
that. Honestly, Mike's the question master today in a good way. These are
good questions. They are good questions.
They really are. Some of these questions, I'm like, you've just made Zunk's day. He wanted to be asked that about the scripting and the quests, how will they hook together? That's great. But with other side, I think. I think so far,
you guys it's your favorite nap time and your favorite dog, and come on, what's up your opinions on other side? What I know that you're a little let's because a lot of us in here have dabbled in other side. So this is the time to talk about it. Fuck, it's not recorded. Jesus.
For sure. Yeah. No, definitely. We're more than happy to talk about it. I think, so far we've already so far we've already integrated a lot of their stuff. So the NFT IP, Ape Chain. So from our perspective, we've kind of done a decent amount to sort of incorporate Yuga into Nifty. I don't really know what an integration into other side could look like in a way that would be healthy for Nifty Island. I think they've been rolling out some cool stuff. I think they're still very much in like a honeymoon phase where like it's one thing to do, have some cool kind of like demo experiences people can play for a short period, even if it's persistent, a few worlds, there's some initial excitement. I think that's great. I think we're just a little further along where we're like grappling more with the problems of like, okay, how do you create like an extremely retentive killer game world and scale it up to a huge number of people? So it's I kind of vaguely watch what they're doing, and I see that people are dabbling with it, and that's cool. And definitely feel free to share if you see things in it where you're like, oh, it'd be cool if you had that feature. We're open to it. But on a whole, I feel like we've done a lot to incorporate them. Haven't got much back in terms of reciprocation, and I just think like they're in the honeymoon phase. We're in the kind of like we've had this thing out for over a year and are trying to grapple with like the tough questions of like how you make something really, really killer. I expect they'll be grappling with the same challenges in like 6-8 months post their initial release. That'd be my guess. So that's kind of all I got to say. But happy to chat more about it.
Do you see that was our number one competitor?
I appreciate that.
Charles.
That's good shit.
What was that, Six?
Heck yeah. What was that? What was that, Six?
Do you see them as our number one competitor? Other side.
I really don't think the competition matters much. I think it's like at every turn. Yeah, right. It's like at every turn, like with this project, we've had like competitive projects, and it's just never materialized. I've never looked at another project and said, oh, they're just shipping so much more than us. Like, we need to be doing what they're doing. Maybe sometimes outside of the gaming vertical, we get inspired by things people are doing, but within gaming, in crypto gaming, I basically think like nobody's cracked it. And so there's not a lot to look at, and everybody's kind of getting the same result. So to me, it's like the best thing to do is actually don't get too absorbed in the echo chamber and try to think of something new that hasn't been done, because clearly a lot of this stuff, works for a little while, but doesn't stick. If we were trying to emulate like all these play to earn games endlessly, that would be a waste of time. We got to be doing something different. I think competition doesn't matter at all. And I guess, I don't even think of them as a competitor really.
Okay, so part of my question though, I guess, is also, what about like buying an other deed and making it a Nifty Island other deed for your Nifty Island holders, a place for them to go, or like even with decentralized.
They go to Nifty.
You go to Nifty. She says you go to Nifty, but so many.
Let's go.
I would go to the other thing. Go to Nifty.
So many places. But
Mike, we're trying to save you here. We're trying to save you.
To hang out in a bubble. To hang out in a bubble.
Okay.
I'm here to play games.
Lovely, crushing it. I think I think with them they're gonna draw on the same audience that we have access to. It's gonna be like kind of the usual suspects, and so it might be useful to do that if like people have suggested to us like build a Roblox game and use that to advertise. Like that kind of makes sense because like Roblox has this giant audience. I think though, I really think about like a prediction with other side. They're gonna launch and they're gonna find that like they don't have access to an audience beyond the one that is on crypto Twitter, basically. So it's the same people who already know about us. And I think, if they break through to the mainstream somehow, then maybe that'd be worthwhile. But I think that's going to be a really tough battle unless they have something like really novel that we haven't seen yet. I think it'll be hard to do. Really hard to do.
Okay, yeah,
so like being associated with the pudgies and certain brands that have already branched out of the Web3, like you guys have, is actually where we want to be.
I think so. And you're with with like upcoming bigger releases, they're going to continue to be kind of to draw on some of those relationships, like with the projects that have huge reach can help us. We built a lot of rapport with a lot of these guys, and I think it will continue to be a really, really good thing.
Gotcha. Yep. Appreciate you.
And then is there like any
Likewise.
chance of like maybe bringing in a whole nother blockchain, for instance, like Bitcoin or like Solana maybe, or I mean, something like that. Is that even possible? I mean,
So,
I feel like
good question. So with Solana, we have it partially integrated. So you can connect your Solana wallet if you have NFTs or meme coins there. You can pull them in today, and we've got a pretty big set of chains supported right now. We're kind of the approach we're taking is be as wide as
maybe like Tezos is the one I was thinking for some reason. There's a really big like underground community in Tezos,
The art chain.
and then again, they're not like huge communities. I'm not sure if that would even be a big helpful. And same thing with Bitcoin. It's like ordinals, or how big is those communities going to come in for a game? I'm not sure, but is that a possibility? Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I think for now we're probably tapped out on chain integrations. There might be, there could be one down the line if it felt like a deal that was really favorable to us. But for the most part, I think none of these chains really add much to the product at this point, or really have any distribution. So it's like they don't have a whole lot to offer to us, and we've already integrated the chains that have kind of the most value, the most interesting communities, the most NFT activity. The goal really with
kind of more like just finding a new community, right? Because I feel like, I mean, I don't know which new community we need, but you've already done so many. But it's like, but yeah, even like Mike was saying, but yeah, like maybe bringing in a huge like finding a way to maybe bring in like, I don't know, maybe the doodle community or something weird like that, right? Something.
Yeah, we are continuing to integrate new ones for sure. You're totally right.
The best thing we can do
we're
there
continuing
too.
to look for more.
Yeah, we are integrating communities, mostly ones that reach out right now. And I think the best thing we can do to strengthen that is just be hyped, and that's kind of what we're working on. And when you are hyped, everyone's reaching out, and their communities are hyped about it, right? They're like, "Hey, can we do an integration with Nifty?" And then it's exciting. Oh, everyone's talking about Nifty this week, and we're going to do an integration. That's how we get people in, right? All their eyes are on what's going on. So I think that's the single best thing we can do.
Yeah, for sure. And I think too, like part of where our head's at is with the existing offering. Like we've kind of, we've promoted it far and wide across the existing communities that there are on these different chains. We think community is always going to play a really key role in Nifty. But what I want to do and what we're working on right now with the kind of bigger project is like kind of in the way when you saw like something like a poly market for the first time, you just kind of very intuitively thought, oh, that's cool. I've never seen that anywhere before. I want to try it. We really want to like add to and refine Nifty in a way where you're just like, oh, that's the only game world where you can do X. And it's really, it just has this like totally no-brainer value prop. And I think the community stuff is really great, and it does that for a specific audience. And what we need is like to kind of add something new to the experience that gets someone who's maybe never played any sort of crypto game before to say, okay, I get it. This is totally intuitive, and I see why I should play, even if I'm not part of an NFT community.
How far out are we from seeing a honestly, like a legit NiftyCon, Nifty IRL event type of thing? How like, is that? Well, I know you did in Singapore, but like, what about in the States?
Yeah, it'd be cool to do something like small scale to start. I think if this next, like when we get this next release out, and I expect it's going to like, give us a really like big new wave of traction. Like basically I want to grow the game, and then like, let's do an event. Because these events, they're kind of just good. They're cool for like a victory lap for everybody. Yep. And I want to deliver the win before I become an event planner. But you know, so we're kind of focused on that. But once we get a lot more traction and stuff, I would absolutely love to do a Nifty Con.
Yep.
So what the hell? It's almost time for the raffle, y'all. Sorry to cut it short, but I'm gonna give you guys the last 2 minutes for your final questions. We're gonna raffle. There you go.
I had a quick question, maybe for Zunk, for the scripting stuff. Do you find that the kind of like the vibe coding tools that are out now, are they favorable to kind of the visual scripting stuff, or is it kind of not? You know, that's maybe not the right
Yeah,
application
I
yet.
think I think it's actually kind of work we just have to do on our side. I would say they're actually probably pretty good for visual scripting, and that the visual scripting is made up of these like kind of more like mid-level discrete building blocks that we could like train an AI on, right? And that could, if we did a good job with that, that could allow you to create scripts with AI. But we'd have to train it on that, right? Because it's our own proprietary system, so it's not like you can just go into like ask ChatGPT about it or something like that and it can spit it out. But it's certainly doable, and that is kind of like the long-term plan with it, right? The making the games right now, it's certainly more simplified than writing code with visual scripting. We do want to have that option at some point, the writing code for like, you know, the diehards, but and it just gives more flexibility. But to make, you know, the only kind of the next logical step in simplifying the scripting system is to incorporate AI right now, I think, or at least with where AI is now, that's the right move. So it's a good question. I think there is something we can do there. We have talked about it. So it's less that AI is far off and more that we need to do some work.
All right. Very cool, Jay.
Yeah, that was
from
a
a
good
proprietary
question.
standpoint, is there like any models
Yeah.
that exist right now that kind of approach what you guys are doing?
Hey,
Any
Or
models
not
of what?
really?
Like AI models?
Like
Or?
visual. Yeah, no, sorry. I mean, like
Oh,
the visual scripting
visual
stuff.
scripting. Yeah. Well, we've taken heavy influence from some visual scripting tools that exist, and they're, you know, they've been proven, they have good designs, and people have been using them for years. Probably the biggest of those is Unreal, so that's pretty proven. We have in our in our belief simplified a few things from that as well, and you know, we'll be making things simpler and more complex in certain ways as we continue. But yeah, that's been the biggest influence is Unreal.